My number 9 linebacker is Dylan Moses, linebacker of the Alabama Crimson Tide. I told you I'm human. I know the rules to the game. I try to abide by them and play, but it's hard, man. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard. Ohio State quarterbacks, Alabama linebackers, seen one, seen them all. I try not to do that because it's not fair to the player. He doesn't have anything to do with, Rashaan Evans or C.J. Mosley or, Reggie Ragland or Nico Johnson. He doesn't have anything to do with any of those guys. Don't put Sean Dion Hamilton on Dylan Moses. Got nothing to do with him. It's just hard to watch Alabama linebackers come into the league and be underwhelming over and over and over again and feel like, why is this guy going to be any different? That said, let's flip this card over and take a look at Dylan Moses. So his strengths, athleticism. He can move. He has no problems getting around and maneuvering on a football field. Got no problems getting from point A to point B. He's an easy mover. He isn't a speed demon by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not hurting for movement skills. Closing speed. Again, one of my things with linebackers is if you're unblocked, if you're untouched, I need you to be able to make a play. And the guys that are able to survive in this league, at a minimum, can survive because if they're unblocked, if they're untouched, they can make plays. There are times when John Bostic is untouched and he doesn't make the play. That's problematic. That'll have you out of the league in a heartbeat. He's not one of those guys. You don't worry about that with Dylan Moses. He gets a seam, a crease, a gap. He's going to hit it, and he's going to make a play. Attacks the line of scrimmage. Kind of goes hand in hand with me talking about his closing speed. He's a guy that is not bashful about approaching the line of scrimmage and trying to make something happen. He's going to come downhill. He's going to come downhill aggressively, and he's going to attack the line of scrimmage. If there's a crease there to be taken advantage of, he's going to do it. If it's not, he's going to try to find his way to the football, but he's going to attack the line of scrimmage. He can get skinny. He can turn his shoulders, make himself skinny to get into a hole. I like to call it slithering, to get inside and make a play. So that's another added benefit there. He can find the football, and he scrapes well. Remember I talked about Jamin Davis not scraping well, not finding his way through the traffic and sorting through garbage and getting to the ball. Dylan Moses can do that. He can find the football. He can scrape. He can get to wherever the ball carrier is trying to go. That ball carrier presses front side and then sticks his foot in the ground and cuts it back. Well, he can scrape. He can stop, change direction, scrape, and find him in the opposite A-gap. Physicality. Like I said, he comes downhill. He comes downhill aggressively. He plays with a level of physicality that I think is necessary of the position. It's a prerequisite. You need to be physical at the linebacker position. Those who aren't need not apply. Quality tackler. I've seen him miss. You notice it didn't say sure tackler. There's levels to this thing. He's a quality tackler. Seen him miss, though. More than I would like a guy of his stature missing. But for the most part, he gets guys on the ground. And he's got a really high-quality motor. Another thing that I really like to see. Because that doesn't require skill nor God-given ability and talent. That's a want to and effort. And he has that. Weaknesses. The first thing that jumps out at me for Dylan Moses, why he's so far down on my list, is I think he's a massive liability in coverage. You don't believe me? Turn on the Florida game in the SEC championship. They went after him. They went after him early. They went after him often. He picked up a couple of PIs. He gave up some stuff in the passing game. He just isn't a guy that I want running with a linebacker 25 yards down the field. There are guys that can do it, and then there are guys that can't. He can't. I saw one of the worst double moves I've ever seen in my life run by one of the Florida linebackers. He fell for it and picked up a PI. I just don't think he's comfortable on an island covering a running back. Good, not great speed. I don't think he's got difference-making, game-changing speed. I think he's fast enough to be a guy that is a starter in the NFL. I don't think he's got elite speed, though. Not the kind that makes you take a second look. Who was that? Damn, that 32 was flying. That's I don't feel that way about Dylan Moses. He's an Alabama linebacker. Again, I'm human. Shoot me. I'm guilty. I know I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't even bring this up. But I can't help myself. He's not Donta Hightower or C.J. Mosley. He's not even Reuben Foster. Those are all first-round linebackers. He's more Nico Johnson, Reggie Ragland, Ryan Anderson, Rashaan Evans. Evans is a first-round linebacker who I wasn't all that fond of. But the thing that I liked about Rashaan Evans is that he was a hell of a blitzer and could double as a guy off the edge. I don't think Tennessee's using him in that capacity, but whatever. He still falls in this long list of Alabama linebackers that have come into the league and underwhelmed. It all started with the first round pick the Raiders took once upon a time. I can't even remember his damn name. You know who the hell I'm talking about. And then finally, injury history. Look, he's not injury prone or anything like that, but he did miss the entire 2019 campaign with a torn ACL. It's on the Carfax. It's worth noting, and it's something to keep in mind. So for me, late day 2, early day 3. Again, these Alabama linebackers tend to go, much like Ohio State linebackers, tend to come off the board sooner rather than later. So more likely than not, he'll probably be a day 2 pick. I'm more on the fence. I wouldn't have a problem with him being a late 3rd, but I'm more of an early 4th round guy for Dylan Moses. And my comp, again, low-hanging fruit. I love to bite it this time of the year. I'll pick it right off the tree, and I won't even wash it off. I won't even rinse it off. I'm going to just bite it. Rashaan Evans is his comp. I hate the fact that these Alabama linebackers are trying to start a tradition with the number 32. It looks horrible for a middle linebacker. It makes you look slow. It makes you look unathletic. I hate the number on that position. But it is what it is. C.J. Mosley started it. It was then picked up by Rashaan Evans, who left it, and Dylan Moses then picked it up. And I bet you the next guy is going to pick it up. They're going to try to start a new middle linebacker tradition. They're getting drafted. But I hate it. But he looks like Rashaan Evans, man. I mean, literally, if you didn't tell me that this was 2020 tape, I would tell you that this was Rashaan Evans. And if I went back and watched it in 2018 and you said, hey, this is 2020, but I'm watching 2018, I said, oh, okay, that's Dylan Moses. I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference. They look exactly the same. The difference is one was a first round pick. This one is not going to be. And I can tell you right now, if Rashaan Evans was in this draft, he too would not be a first round pick. But I digress. Dylan Moses is my number 9 linebacker in this draft class. And again, that's not terrible in a deep linebacker draft class.
Louie